Welcome to Cups of Tea with Kim podcast, where we speak all things alignment, purpose, and practicalities. Hello and welcome back to Cups of Tea with Kim, a podcast. And this is episode 4. And today we're talking about vision boards. So, I've been using vision boards for a long time, particularly since 2006 when The Secret movie came out and John Assaraf talked a lot about vision boards. So if you haven't watched that movie or you haven't watched it lately, why not jump on? And I'm sure you can YouTube and watch the whole movie on YouTube these days, or read the book, of course. But he speaks a lot about the power of vision boards, and I certainly know for myself how powerful vision boards are. I've had one going, ongoing, changing them over year by year, and using the pictures of what it is that I want to bring about into my life. And it's a fun process, particularly if you're a creative person and you enjoy that creative process. But of course, the first thing to know about a vision board and the power behind it is we need to know what it is that we're wanting to create in our life. So like any goals that we're going to set, it's always, we can either be looking at one area of our life, particularly if you're making a change, like say, for instance, you're having a career change, or you really want to up-level certain aspects of your life. So then you could be choosing your health and wellness as an example. So then you would set about, asking yourself, well, what are the things that are important for me? Well, of course, there'd be some form of movement in there. So it might be yoga or it might be walking. For me personally, I love to walk in the bush, but I also really love the coastal walk. So, I have a picture of coastal walks on my vision board. Yoga, it might be going to the gym, or it might be riding a bike, or it might be kayaking, whatever that is for you that you really want to bring into your life. Then you would be going through magazines, if you've got magazines, or, certainly searching on the internet and, printing off pictures that really inspire you and really remind you of what you want to bring into your life. So you would then look at, if we're still on the area of wellness, you would look at the foods that you're going to consume, the water intake that you're having. Is it having some time to yourself, or is it having time with friends? What is that you really want to bring into your life? And if it was a career, then you'd be focusing on the types of things that you want. What is the environment that you want to work in? So if it was a home office, you would be looking at the feeling of that you're wanting to set up in your home office. For me, it's really important to have a really beautiful space. You can see some of it here. So really meaningful pictures on the walls, nice. I have a beautiful altar in my office. And I tell you, a great resource for this too is Pinterest. If you're not aware of Pinterest, then I'd certainly check it out. There are so many beautiful pictures and ideas in Pinterest. So you could just search, home office in there, and a whole lot of suggestions would come up, so that you can really start to notice, what you really resonate with, what you really like. And often we see things that we think, no, I don't like that. That really helps us to understand what we do like. So you're going to, to get these pictures. Now, also, Pinterest is a great resource to, you can actually make your own vision board on Pinterest, because that's exactly what they are. They're boards. And you don't have to have them public. You can have them private, just like it can be a secret board. So that can be a really fun thing to do as well, because you're gathering the pictures from Pinterest and you're putting it all there. Personally, I love either the cardboard, getting a big piece of cardboard, and then putting cutting out those pictures. I make it, make an afternoon of it. You can do it with friends if you like, have a vision board party, make it a nice afternoon tea. Certainly, I've done lots of those in a corporate setting, but also, for people in their private homes. At the moment, I'm using a corkboard, so I'm, updating it as things have been on there for a while and they've been achieved. Now, here's a big tip. I want to make sure that you have a nice texter that when you do achieve it, that you can go back and put a big tick against it, and you leave it up there, because that reminds you that of what you are achieving, and that you are working towards things, and you are actually getting them done and bringing them about into your life. So you want to have, a nice amount of pictures. You can have words. You can, write down little sayings, or, certainly some of the things that I have. Alignment is so important for me. So, that's part of my morning routine, is to get really aligned when I come into my office, set my intentions for the day. So whatever those words are for you, it's like your reminder that you've sat down and you've connected with your higher self or your future self, and you said, well, where do we want to go? Who do we want to be in life? And you write down all of these things that are really important to you, and your sort of ideal list. And then you go about, finding the pictures that match those intentions, those goals, and then you put them up on your vision board. And of course, you want it somewhere that you can see it all the time. So for me, I'm looking right at it when I'm sitting that way, not when I'm recording, but when I'm sitting that way, I'm looking right at my vision board. And I, make sure I stop in between projects that I'm doing in the day, and I look at the vision board, and I feel into it, and I imagine, how that feels to create those things on my vision board. It's a very powerful tool, and it's certainly something that I've used successfully throughout my entire life, and even before I really realized this whole visioning process and visualizing, I was using that to create what I wanted. And it's about focusing more on what you want to bring into your life than what you don't. And that's the trick, because most of us, we can, if we're not conscious about where our thoughts are, we can, be worrying about things that might happen. And of course, that's our mind. Our mind's role is to keep us safe and to keep us alive. So it can, check in with you. Are you sure you want to do that? Last time we did that, it didn't work out so well. So it's about, being mindful about our mind and not just letting it run amok. It's us choosing where we want the energy to go. So by having those pictures there as a constant reminder, we're reminding ourselves exactly what we're wanting to bring about, who we want to be, what's important for us, and, what's your important success recipe? What do you need to do on a daily basis that's going to keep you at your best? So, I talk a lot about meditation. I've talked about morning practices. So what are those things for you? Eating well, getting out in nature, having some time out just to lose yourself in a book or a movie. Drinking enough water, not having too much alcohol, not having too much sugar, whatever those things are for you, we all each work out our own recipe, our own success recipe, if you like, as to what keeps us functioning the best. And particularly, for light workers, when you're going out and you're supporting other people, it's really important that your own vibration and your own energies are really high, and that you've got as much vibrancy as you possibly can. So for anybody that's not really sure, that is something that comes up, and you might be at a new sort of turning point in your life, and you might be looking at a new career, or you're not really sure. You could have gone through some considerable adversity, and you've kind of, withdrawn a little bit and gone really into yourself. And so dreaming has been something that just hasn't really been on your radar because you've been more focused on surviving. I certainly know what that's like. And we can bring this back, and by starting small, if having a great big piece of cardboard is too overwhelming, then just get a smaller piece and just start with that. And I always love to leave space on my vision board to put something in that I hadn't thought about. These podcasts have been on my vision board for a long time, for quite a few years actually. So these are happening now, and it's not about some things will happen quickly and some things will take years to happen, and that's okay too. But it's really keeping you in that focusing forward. So if it's new to you, or if you're at a place where you're just starting to dream again, then start small, and just start with some things that help you to feel really good about yourself. Maybe some people that have you feel better about yourself when you spend time with them. So start with that. And also, I'll pop a link in the notes here for a meditation that I've got recorded on my YouTube channel. It's called Your Perfect Day, and it's just a little guided visualization that might help you to uncover some things that you would like to bring about in your life. So there's plenty of resources on the internet, but my real tip on that one is to check out Pinterest too, because it's a lot of fun. I love going on there for dinner ideas and things like that. And recently we redid our lounge room, and I used Pinterest to get some inspiration to find, I knew the feeling of what I wanted to create, and those pictures really helped me to tease that out. So once you've got your pictures and you organize it the way that you want, and you can really go all out. You can put glitter on there, you can use color pencils, you can really organize it. It's your board. And then once you've done that, you want to make sure that it's in a place that you're going to see it regularly. So if you do decide to use Pinterest as your vision board, then you want to be disciplined to make sure that you're going to go on there every day and take a look at it and spend some time with it. You could set a little alarm on your phone or on your computer to say, go and check out your vision board, so that you spend some time in that daydreaming, because of course that's how we create our lives, right? It's with the pictures in our mind. Once we create the picture, we've put that pattern into the universe. And of course the universe it's basically standing there waiting for us to say, what would you like? What's your order, please? And we spend a lot of time, as I spoke before, about worrying. And so therefore we're telling the universe what we don't want, but it doesn't get the difference between do and don't. So we can bring things into our lives. Now, of course, remember that we don't manifest instantly, and that's a good thing because, all that worry we would bring about, we don't want that. So, and don't go into that place of, I'm creating, bad stuff in my life, because that's not what you want to be focusing on. If you notice that you've been worrying, then just reassure yourself, yes, I understand I'm worrying about this, but, I don't know the outcome yet. And what I'd really like to see come about is this. So just turning your thoughts back to what you want to create. And of course, if you're having, a bit of a rough day, you're feeling a little bit flat or a little bit unmotivated, jumping on and looking at your vision board, or sitting wherever it is in front of it and looking at it and feeling into it, feeling what it would feel like to achieve those things, and also connecting with why you want it. That's really important, because I've put things on my vision board that I just didn't achieve. And I've looked at an end of a year or an end of a period of time and thought, why didn't I achieve that? And I actually, when I was really honest with myself, I didn't really want it. There was some reason at the time I thought it was a good idea, but it wasn't actually really what I wanted, because I actually know that I do create everything that I really want. That I just have always done that. If it's something that I really want, and I think if you really feel into it for yourself, think of some things that you really wanted, and you didn't quite know at the time how that was going to come about, but it did. So I share the story of my beautiful home that I raised my children in, 25-acre farm in the Southern Highlands of New South Wales. It was always the plan. We used to sit when we ran our restaurant in Sydney, crazy time in our lives, and in our downtime we would talk about how we didn't want to raise our children in the city. For us, that was important. We always wanted to have a farm. So that was the goal, and we talked about it a lot. We spent time, we would draw out the design of the house, exactly how we wanted it to be. And, we spent a lot of time putting energy into it. Well, that was, I'm just trying to think of time. We knew we were going to have to do some things to be able to get to the home, because it was the dream home. So we knew there'd be some work along the way, and we did. We bought houses that needed some work doing to them, and then we did them up. We sold them on, made a profit from that, and I think they call it flipping. But we did live in the houses as we were doing it, to eventually get to purchasing our home. And when it came time to look for the land, we found a 25-acre block that we absolutely loved, but it was 3 times over the budget that we had set for ourselves. But I just felt that it was the right block of land, and we just trusted, and we continued to trust in the process, and you hand it over to the universe. Anyway, about 2 years later, we did buy that land for a third of the price, exactly what we could budget, and we built our dream home on it. And we raised our 3 children there in beautiful natural bush setting in the Southern Highlands, and we lived there for 16 years, and it was incredible. So, it's about not getting caught up on the timing, and trusting that the universe really is there to support you, but you've got to give it direction. So I really hope that you have some fun. I'd love to see, on any of my platforms, share with me. This, of course, will go onto YouTube, so I'd love to, or on my Facebook group. Share with us your vision board, or your successes, because it's a tool that is such a powerful tool, and it's a fun tool to create. So get creating your vision boards, and keep it as an ongoing ritual. I like to use the seasons as a way for marking new times. And for me, I like the 1st of August, which would be in bulk in the Southern Hemisphere. So it's like we're coming out of the depth of winter, and we would be seeing the very first shoots of any new growth coming in. And I think that's a beautiful time to be creating a vision board. But of course, you don't have to be doing it then. Do it anytime you feel inspired to do it. So I hope that that's been helpful to you. I look forward to seeing lots of beautiful vision boards around, and hearing of your successes using vision boards. So until we connect again, abundant blessings.